Oh, hello, hello, Spirit House here. I just wanted to share a little story time. I don't know why the Holy Spirit laid it upon my heart to share this right now, but this is going back to when I was about 19 years old. I used to drive all the way from Seattle, Washington, although I'm from Alaska, but I had moved from California when I was 17 and went to Seattle, Washington. And during that time, I would take a lot of road trips. I had a Honda CRX at the time, and it was pretty sporty. Anyway, I used to drive to Reggae on the River back to Northern California in the Redwoods in Humboldt County every year for the festival, Reggae on the River. And so I went there when I was 19 for the first time, and camped out in the redwoods, and it was so awesome. And I had this wonderful, like, really like spiritual experience there the first time. Like, the first night we were camping, after the music had finished, there was a girl there with a tribal drum, and she started playing and walking, and I walked with her, and she started playing her drum, and I made up was making up lyrics to this stuff, and I was just thinking about this tonight, and it was like, by the time we'd walked 2 miles, by the time we were finished, okay, this is like kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but by the time we were done, there were 40 women that we were all singing together, and I'd made up the lyrics, and we were all singing together, and we walked all the way to like down the river for 2 miles, and it was just like a really beautiful experience. And I was trying to remember the lyrics that I made up, and it went like this: uh, "The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother, and we must cherish her. We plant the seeds, and she gives birth to them. She meets our needs with no appreciation." And then, like, we went on and, like, all this stuff about the earth. And it was, like, really, I mean, it sounds like shit. My voice sounds like shit because I just got over the flu right now. But it was really beautiful experience. And, like, at the end, there were all these women, and it just started with two of us, and we were like, it was really beautiful. And the only other experience I can really say that was like just like gorgeous in my mind was when like 5 years ago I went to clean out my aunt's apartment after she had passed away. It was a condo on the Oregon coast in Gerhardt, Oregon, and she had a daughter, my cousin Christy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Anyway, so we waited a couple weeks to see if she would clean it out, and she didn't. So we just decided to go do it on our own. And so I drove my mother on this road trip, who's elderly, and we went from Northern California to all the way to Gerhardt, Oregon, and had some problems along the way with tires. Like, there was a tie back from a Mack truck that busted our tire at the top of the fucking Siskiyou Mountains. Excuse my language. And so luckily we found some people to replace our tires. We found a good tow truck guy and stuff. But anyway, we and it was pouring rain, and we had to drive on a spare, like, pouring rain with Mack trucks behind us barreling down the mountain, and we could only drive 45 miles an hour on a spare. It was really stressful. Anyway, we got there fine. There was a lot of witchcraft being done on me at the time too. You know, I was under a lot of spiritual attack, but we made it there. And on the last day that I was there, I made we put together this like message in a bottle, because her condo faced the ocean. It was like right on the ocean, and there it was like two units. There was one on the top, one on the bottom, and she'd had the one on the bottom, and so we cleaned the whole thing out. It was really sad and, like, not a good experience. Really bad vibes from the place, actually. But the last day I was there, I went out and we made this message in a bottle with pictures and a note to Sherry and prayers and stuff like that. And we put it all in the bottle and we corked it really good. And then I sealed it with wax. And then we threw it out. I went out and threw it out to the ocean. I went out alone, and I was like barefoot down to the beach when the tide went out. And I sat on a piece of driftwood and I started crying and I just started praying and meditating. And I prayed for, like, I had my eyes closed for about an hour. And then when I was done, I opened my eyes and there were 85 elk lined up in this big line down this little path that went down to the beach. And they were swimming. They were going out to the ocean and swimming into the ocean in Gerhardt, Oregon. And it was like, at first I was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to attack me? What's going to go on? There's so many of them. What am I going to do? But then I was just like, this is such a beautiful experience in life. Like, to see this many elk in front of me. I opened my eyes and literally they were only like 30 feet away from me, lined up, going in, like, to the ocean. And they went all the way up the path. There were so many of them. And it was like, whoa. And it scared the crap out of me, honestly, to be truthful. But it was such a beautiful experience. At the same time, it was like I was praying to God. And then I opened my eyes and I see this. And it was like a gift. It really was a gift. And so I kind of tried to, I quietly, like, snuck away over the grassy hills, away from the path, around them. But it was like I got back and I just started crying because it was so beautiful. But anyway, I just had to share those two experiences because it's like we need to live in the moment and cherish these kind of things, because these are gifts from the divine, and it's just really beautiful, and we need to cherish those moments in life because, this life isn't very long. Anyway, I was just like, I remember that song, and for some reason I thought that I should share that experience about that festival that I went to, and then also about the elk, because it was just like beautiful. Both experiences were really wonderful in my life. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.